The Celestial Tress, a chronicle written in stars. Ever since Professor Alistair Finch pinned the first photograph to the corkboard, a sandstone relief of an Egyptian noblewoman with hundreds of tiny, tight braids cascading like a field of woven snakes, his university office had begun to look less like a historian's den and more like a detective's war room. Images of Roman empresses with intricate, towering semi-crines were connected by red string to Byzantine icons with severe, center-parted buns. A glossy print of a 1920s flapper with a severe Eden crop was linked to a holograph of a 1960s model with a stark, geometric beetle Sassoon bob. Finch's theory, which his colleagues initially dismissed as chronological cosmetology, was simple on its face, but utterly preposterous in its implication. Human hairstyles were not merely responses to fashion, technology, or social change. They were, he believed, a planetary echo. His eureka moment came not in an archive, but in an astrological text. He'd been cross-referencing the zenith of certain styles with the precession of the 25,800-year cycle that shifts Earth's alignment through 12 celestial ages. The correlations were unnerving. The Age of Taurus c. 4,300–2,150 BCE. The Bull, an Earth sign obsessed with materiality, sensuality, and intricate craftsmanship. Finch stared at the Egyptian braids. Taurus rules the neck and throat. The hairstyles, unbelievable complexity. Braids woven with gold thread, beads, and rings, heavy, tangible, and luxurious. They weren't just adornments. They were declarations of earthly wealth and stability, a direct cosmic pull toward ornamenting the very body part Taurus governed. The Age of Aries c. 2152–01 BCE. The ram, fire, war, assertion, the individual. Enter the Greeks and early Romans. Hairstyles became helmets of identity. The Greek rebellos, a bundle not a dinape, was practical for warriors, yet noble. Roman men wore their hair short and disciplined, a symbol of militaristic order. It was hair as declaration, as assertion of the self and the state. Pure, fiery Aries. The Age of Pisces c. 1250 CE. The fish's duality, spirituality, dissolution of boundaries. Finch's string connected the devout, covered hair of medieval women to the flowing, romantic locks of the Renaissance, and finally to the psychedelic, boundless waves of the late 1960s. Piscean hair was about escaping the material veils, then ethereal curls, then hair so free it seemed to merge with the smoke-filled air itself. The duality was stark. The pious pawn and the hippie's untamed mane. Two fish swimming in opposite directions, yet tied together. But it was the cusp period, the turbulent transition from one age to another, that truly convinced him. The dawn of the Age of Aquarius, which astrologers place as beginning in the 20th century, was a seismic shift. The 1920s, as the first Aquarian vibrations hit, hair was liberated. The flapper's bob was a shocking severance from the long Piscean tresses. It was androgynous, modern, and democratic cut to be identical on shopgirls and heiresses. Aquarius, revolutionary, egalitarian, futuristic. The 1960s, the Aquarian pulse strengthened. Hair wasn't just short. It was architectural. The geometric cuts of Mary Quant and Sassoon weren't hairstyles. They were designs, logical, angular, and forward-thinking. They mirrored the space race, the microcheaper collective human gaze fixed on the future. The cosmos was demanding a new silhouette, one of clean lines and intellectual clarity. Finch presented his findings in a hushed lecture hall, his wall of images projected behind him. He showed how the ornate, hierarchical braids of Taurus gave way to the assertive knots of Aries, which dissolved into the spiritual waves of Pisces, now crystallizing into the geometric shapes of Aquarius. We think we choose, he concluded, his voice trembling slightly. We follow magazines, musicians, rebels. But what if the first rebel, the first trendsetter, is the sky itself? What if, in our endless fussing with our hair, we are simply trying to tune our bodies, the most personal canvas we have, to the frequency of the universe? We are not wearing history on our heads. We are wearing the stars. A skeptical colleague raised a hand. So, Professor, what's next? What does the full dawn of the Age of Aquarius hold for our hair? Finch allowed himself a small smile. He clicked to a final image. A composite of shimmering, color-shifting hair in impossible, non-terrestrial shapes from a recent sci-fi film. Aquarius is also about the collective, the digital, the non-physical. Perhaps hair will become transient, holographic, customizable with a thought, a communal expression rather than an individual one. Or perhaps we will finally be free from its tyranny altogether, our energy focused outward, on the collective human sky. The room was silent, not with dismissal, but with a dizzying wonder. Every person in it, from the bearded graduate student to the stern department head, suddenly felt the weight of the strands on their own scalp differently. They were not just hair. They were an ancient, celestial text, still being written, one follicle at a time.